fake.
Welcome to WePodNow.
That was pretty good.
I did it.
Professional.
That was way too good. Strangely enough, I was just listening to episode 1 in preparation for this, and that exact voice you just did there was the same mocking voice that you did as an imitation of me with my weird mic voice that I get into when I start recording.
Oh no.
I watched the last episode that we did, and we all agreed it was the worst episode we ever did, but I've enjoyed it, actually. Even though we thought it was bad, I listened to it and I was like, this is nice.
I'm pretty sure... Okay, so here's our analysis from last episode. Episode 1, we thought like, hey, this is pretty fun. Episode 2 actually got better. 3 worse, 4 worse, 5 worse. A little bit of a hill that we went down.
Doesn't matter.
So we were excited at one point and then we lost it. But
it's too bad.
It wasn't enough to discourage us from coming back again, because here we are for WePodNow 6. The 6 representing the number of weeks it's been, since this is a weekly upload.
Right.
And we've been like extremely faithful, and it's pretty cool, breaking out of my old habit of getting into something and then letting it drop, never doing it again. I've been doing this for 6 weeks, and it just feels good, feels refreshing that I've broken out of that bad habit. The 2-week fad, man. If you remember that conversation. That was actually also from last episode.
Oh, man.
Yep.
See, I can't really remember the last episode super well because 1 week is a very, very long stretch of time.
And it
feels like months.
And a lot of things have happened in that week.
Right.
For example, 2 of the WePodNow members have gotten married.
Yay.
1 is having a baby. It was a big week for us.
Yeah.
Pretty big week. Today's theme for the podcast is my phone. Specifically mine.
Why?
Brian's phone.
Yeah, my phone. So keep that in mind as you're discussing the various topics that we go through today.
Okay.
And on to the next segment, the pod point distribution. Emily, you earned 0 points.
Okay.
Bringing you to a grand total of 1. Not bad.
Not good.
Luke, you also earned 0 from last episode.
As expected.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you're at 1, and I earned.
If you
I
earn
earned 0.
any...
I'm still at none. The problem is, Emily, I was looking at your point.
Yeah.
And I noticed there was like a sticker with a date on it, and your pod point actually expired.
No, it didn't. They don't expire.
Like 3 days ago.
That's illegal.
So your new total is 0 pod points, Emily.
Oh, that's
I'm
rough.
sorry.
That's alright. I don't have anything to spend it on anyway.
That's true. We're still working on the WePodNow merch. That shop's still opening up.
Okay. Can you get anything with 1 anyway?
Oh,
Like a Tootsie Roll?
we are not going to sell candy. It's going to be a health-oriented shop.
Can I get some spinach for my pod point?
Not yet.
Dang it.
Not yet.
When, though?
I don't know. It's going to be this whole online thing. I'm going to design the website, but first I need to figure out how to make art and how to code. So both of those things need to happen first.
Okay,
Just
then.
little roadblocks.
Couple roadblocks. Yeah. Hey, let's go into We Endorse Now, which is the title of the segment where we endorse something that we've been doing in the past week, something that we enjoy, something that we respect and could recommend to a listener. We didn't actually have a title for the segment, and what was on the screen for last episode was We Endorse Now, which I noticed kind of looked like Ween Dorse Now.
Maybe.
So I think maybe that's the new title.
We endorse now?
Yes. But regardless, Luke, do you have an endorsement? Wait, you told me you did.
I actually have. I thought about this for the first time ever in a WePodNow segment.
Nice.
So the main thing might be that you've possibly noticed, if you made it this far in, that my voice is clearer than it used to be.
I have noticed that, Luke.
That's because
I noticed.
That's funny that you'd say that.
I actually bought a Blue Yeti USB microphone.
That is amazing.
And I've been using it, but there is a bit of a caveat with buying it.
Okay.
It turns out,
Good word.
even if you buy a nicer microphone, it doesn't make your voice any better. And so if you hate the sound of your voice and you think you sound dumb, all it does is make you sound dumb more clearly.
More clarity
I'm a
on the
little
dumbness.
disappointed. I'm a little disappointed because I thought maybe you were taking voice
I'm sorry.
acting lessons, or you've been like having a singing coach that taught you how to speak really well.
So, Luke, did you just recommend to a podcast audience a microphone that they've all heard of already?
Yeah, so I actually have other recommendations that aren't a microphone, because I would say every single person who's going to ever see this would not need one. What do you need a microphone for?
That's a good call.
So my other recommendation would be Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, very cool.
I am so close to 100%ing it.
Really?
Already.
Spent this weekend cleaning things up.
So would you say it's a short game?
I've probably put like 60, 70 hours into it.
All right.
Ooh,
That is very, very cool.
I can't wait. I'm gonna get it for Christmas, hopefully.
Ooh, fun.
If I don't get it,
Did
I'll
you
just
ever
buy
play
it.
Super Mario 64?
Yes.
How old were you when you did it?
Well, it was one of the first Mario games, so I think I was in like first grade, if that sounds right.
Okay.
Besides, like, Super Mario Bros. 3, like, at my grandparents'. I rented this from a Blockbuster. We rented a N64 and a GameCube every now and then. And we rented
Blockbuster.
Mario 64. Yep, from Blockbuster. And we were the only ones who ever rented because we always got the same memory card with all of our same progress. So it was pretty cool.
So I don't know if you have the same nostalgia for Super Mario 64 that I do. I just remember being a kid and like running around in that game and being like, ooh, what's this? What's over here? And it was just fun. Mario Odyssey is like that for the next generation.
Cool.
I think a lot of kids will have the same kind of nostalgia for this game that I did for 64.
I think my nostalgia was for Sunshine. Like, I definitely put in, I don't know, lots of hours on that one.
Yeah,
And we recently just 100%ed it again.
we very recently did that in a very quick manner, too. And we actually set up two Wiis with two TVs right next to each other and played Sunshine at the same time.
That sounds really fun.
It is super cool.
Yeah, it
It
was.
is super cool.
And we raced and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun.
Might take you a little longer to 100% Odyssey, because
Cool.
I'm at 830 moons or so.
Out of...
There's probably a dozen or so more. You can buy them from the store, as many as you want, so it's kind of hard to tell.
What?
Yeah.
You can buy them?
Sounds like a confusing system. I'm not sure about it. Have you beaten Galaxy 1 and 2 also?
I don't remember if I've beaten Galaxy.
I have.
I didn't
Okay.
enjoy it as much.
Would you say Odyssey's an improvement?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. I enjoyed those. Not as much as Sunshine, but they were alright.
I will say
Cool.
there hasn't
Can't
been
wait
that
for
much in terms of like really difficult platforming, which was kind of sad,
Yeah.
but I get it.
The only thing that is holding me back is that, like, the New York style world. It just seems like it doesn't fit. Was it weird when you were playing?
I thought it would be like that, but it was actually really... It's like the 7th or 8th world you go to, so by that point you're kind of used to it. You've been to a jungle and desert, snow kingdom, lake, woods. So you kind of get used to it. Like, the sort of idea is that each kingdom has these different people in it, and you're kind of traveling around.
Huh, okay.
Your map is a tourist guide booklet.
Cool.
So you're leaving the Mushroom Kingdom and going into other crazy worlds. So it's like a Mario Rick and Morty sort of thing.
In a way, I guess. I mean, Mario is a psychopath, so he makes a good Rick. Because since you use your hat to take over our enemies' consciousnesses,
Yeah.
Seen something about that.
it's sort of dark sometimes. Like, I'll take this guy who likes to glide around, and he's like, "Wee, I love to glide," and you take over his body, and then you fly over like poisonous swamp. And then you ditch his body and he falls into the swamp and dies. And then you grab like some purple coins and you're like,
Oh no.
I just sacrificed that person's life so I could have 2 more coins.
So it's just like Yoshi from every previous iteration.
Right. It's real sad when you do it to a non-bad guy. So when you jump out, they're like, "Where am I? What's going on?"
Whoa.
And you turn around and you're like, "I used you." So that's my recommendation.
Okay, well, we got the double endorsement, the Blue Yeti and Odyssey. Okay, cool. Emily?
I I could endorse some pretty crazy stuff, but I want to endorse something that is a good endorsement. We just watched the movie Prestige
Okay.
with Hugh Jackman and
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yep. And it was one of the best movies I've seen in a long, long time. And it was just like a holy cow thing the whole time, and it came out around early 2000s, and I never heard of it, but it's really good.
Yes, The Prestige, the 2006 classic.
It's amazing. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I watched it, and I forget the name of the other movie I saw, but I watched them like either back to back or one day and the next day, and I mixed them up all the time. Is it like The Prestige and like it's not The Apprentice, it's The Illusionist. Thank you, Haley.
Isn't The Apprentice the TV
Yeah, that's
show?
the Donald Trump TV show.
Yeah.
No, it's The Illusionist.
I mix them up all the time.
Yeah, The Prestige, the one with Donald Trump, where he's like...
I love it.
No, but The Illusionist.
I don't know that one.
I don't know, something to do with, like, possession and magic tricks, too, so... It was kind of like The Prestige. I think it was way worse than The Prestige.
Well, The Prestige is very, very good.
And spooky.
And watching it twice might even make it better.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that the first movie that we've endorsed on WePodNow?
I think so.
Probably.
What was the crazy stuff you were going to endorse?
Yeah, you got some crazy stuff?
Well, okay, I'll tell you. I don't even know if it's crazy, but maybe I'm just embarrassed. But okay, whatever.
You sound quite embarrassed.
Okay, I endorse Betty Boop. It has just so unique animation that I haven't really experienced. Like, it just seems so much like cooler than today's cartoons. It has just it's just so over the top. And then they have like a band perform like for the music, and they have like the most amazing singers come on and like do the music. It's just so interesting, and like every episode is just like I just think about it for a while, like all the different animation styles and like how did they come up with that, and
Drugs.
like all the different music is just pretty good.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, I always thought it was something for fat older ladies, but no, I know it's just an interesting thing.
No, it's a kid's cartoon, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's so hard to tell what old shows are, what like demographic they were aimed at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who was supposed to watch this?
That's very true. So, like, it's from the 30s, right?
Yeah.
How... Okay, my world timeline's getting a bit messed up right now. weren't TVs a little bit more commonplace, like, in the 50s?
Yes.
And that's black and white?
Yeah.
So how did people get to this cartoon?
They might have seen it in the theaters.
Internet?
I thought maybe it was for... Well, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Whatever. What's your endorsement?
Oh, you're just gonna leave Betty Boop behind like that.
Well, that's all I have to say.
Okay, are you ready for this endorsement?
Yep.
You ready for mine?
Yep.
You ready for the thing that I've been thinking of for days to tell you about because it's so awesome?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yep.
Okay, my endorsement is for classic novels. Woo!
Yay!
Read them.
Which ones?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that right there.
Just like in general?
Because the thing is that like I'm still figuring that out on my own. Because it turns out like if you just go and you pick up a book that they tried to make you read in grade school and you weren't interested to read it, so you just didn't, and you go read it, turns out it's a good book.
That never happened to me because I always read the books and they're always good.
That's weird.
No, Luke did it too because he's a good student.
I'm sure you did actually.
I mean, I specifically remember Across 5 Aprils in 8th grade. I did not read a page of that book. I have no idea what happened in it, but I know that the Civil War started and ended in April. That's what I learned
The only
from the
book
book.
I never read was Old Man in the Sea. That's the only one I didn't want to read.
You didn't read that one?
Dude, that's a good one.
No, it was
Short.
boring. It was boring.
He wants the boy and some salt.
Yeah, I know. Ha ha. It's about rape or something
No,
secretly.
it's not.
Well,
It's just about an old man's struggle with a big fish.
Go sit down with that novel, read it through. It'll touch your life.
I don't want to.
It'll just make you smarter in general. So I was actually reading an article about breaking the internet addiction. Not something that I'm like super concerned about right now. I probably should be. What it said was one of the activities that you can always do because it's just healthy is read. And so that's kind of what sparked this latest interest of mine. Also, I was thinking about the We Endorse Now segment and thinking about how perfect it is for me because I can always just like say the thing that I'm doing lately. Because on this weekly upload, it's just perfectly consistent with my shifting interests. So right now I've got a stack of novels on the shelf that I've borrowed.
How many classic novels can you read in 2 weeks before you lose interest?
Okay, not many. And I tried to start with the hardest one, the one
Yeah.
that I was least interested in. So progress is slow, and that one is Tale of Two Cities.
Oh, you started with Charles Dickens.
Yeah, that's what I said. And he's been trying to read like the first chapter for months.
No, I got through the first chapter is actually like 4 pages.
And it's stupid. I've read the first chapter.
It is stupid, okay? It is
was
stupid.
The best of times. It was the opposite. It was the blank. It was the opposite.
Yes.
There was long things and short things and tall. It's like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least it makes me feel smart when I read it. So,
Right.
So that's my endorsement. Go read.
Well, speaking of classic books, I read Brothers Karamazov this year.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
That's a good classic book.
What is that?
It's by... What's his name? I can never pronounce it properly. It's Dostoevsky. Basically, it's about this guy who grew up with his dad sucks, and he's got 2 brothers, and they're in Russia, and I don't know. It's like long, so it's hard to summarize what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it was written as a serial, which you can kind of tell. I think that really changes how books read.
That's like 451. That's like Fahrenheit 451.
Was that written as a serial too?
I think so.
Oh.
But that's also like Charles Dickens, like all his books, right?
Yeah, most of his were too.
Gotcha.
Have you read Animal Farm?
Not yet, but that's on the shelf.
Animal Farm's very good.
Do that one first. That's an easier one, and it'll get you into it better. It's easy. It's a classic.
But I'm already like a full chapter invested into Tale of Two Cities. How can I give up now?
All right. Well, let's see you do it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's our endorsements for this week.
Well, good luck with that.
All right.
Yeah. The jobs are kind of rotating this episode. Luke got to introduce it. Emily got to make the schedule. So right now we're going to jump into her catching up topics.
Yeah.
And the first one is new baby news with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
And parentheses,
Name
name picked? So tell us the name, Luke.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
When we first went to the doctor, we were told that we could find out whether it was a boy or a girl, like, I don't know how many weeks in. Pretty early. Surprisingly early.
Mm-hmm.
But the baby was in the wrong position, so we couldn't tell. And then we went in 2 or 3 weeks later, and the baby was still in a weird position, and you couldn't tell.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
then we went in 2 weeks ago now? Last week? And you couldn't really tell, but we're pretty sure it's a girl. Like 99% sure.
Congratulations.
So
Cool.
we've been coming up with names. It is so hard to pick a name because
How are you?
you make your list of names and then it's like, oh well, that one I knew a girl like that in grade school and she sucked, so we can't use that name because I'm just going to think of the.
I once heard a shower thought that was, picking a baby name makes you think of all the people you hated throughout life.
Right. And then you can't pick some names because they're, like, weird. Like, Haley and I kind of like the name Megumi.
Oh,
And it can be shortened to Meg, which is a real American name. And
That's super cool.
in Japanese, it means blessing.
Wow.
oh.
But you name your kid Megumi, and everyone's going to think that she's Japanese.
Then that's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of okay, but then, like,
She's born in Japan.
in terms of college applications, like,
Oh.
College won't even be a thing in 18 years.
female Asians are probably the most competitive group for college applications. And since most colleges try to diversify, it's the hardest to get into any given college if you're considered a female Asian.
That's amazing.
And
Wow.
I've never thought about that. That's incredible.
So it's like, maybe that's not the greatest name. So we've been toying with a few. We really like the name Nadia.
Oh, yep.
Oh. I like that too.
Yeah, so that's what we're thinking right now.
And you have to pick a middle name too.
Yeah, middle name is, who knows? Yeah, we go for walks a lot, just for health reasons. We recently found out that there's a gym about 10 minutes away.
Whoa.
We first were looking around for gyms, and we Googled Google Maps. That's for a different day. I can rant about that. But we found this gym in a nearby area. It was like 10 minutes away. And we went there, and there was no one around, and it was dark out. And we were like, where do we go? So then this guy walks out from a little office area, and he's like, what do you want? And we're like, well, we heard there was a gym around. So he takes us upstairs, and
No way.
it's like 40 degrees and like this empty bare bones gym. And then he's like, yeah, so that's like $60 a month per person.
What an
What?
adventure.
And we were like, no, we aren't doing that. So then we're listening to morning announcements, which come at 6:15 in the morning. And I noticed that the lady keeps mentioning that the Akasaki training center has some stuff in it. And she mentions like a person who will help with working out being there one day. And I'm like, I bet you there's a gym there. And that's like a 5-minute walk. So then I went there, and they have this dinky little gym that's smaller than our bedroom. It's basically like one of those workout machines, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then like a treadmill that's not powered. And so the guy's
way.
like, this gym is small, but there's one in Kotora that's way bigger and better. So we go to that one, which is like 3 minutes further away than the first gym we went to. And
Wow.
it's like a big gym with a bunch of treadmills, machines, things, and a year is $30.
Wow.
Wow.
So we got a year membership, and we've been going to that.
Oh,
And
they're very
yeah,
cool.
it's heated
got
in
a
the
happy
winter.
a happy ending.
Yeah,
The story
and
does.
it's become a reoccurring theme in Japan for Haley and I that you shouldn't just accept that things are the way they are because you tried once and failed. So, like, make sure to give it a second look and see what you can find, because this is not the first case where we've failed on the first time and then realized we were wrong. I'm gonna get ripped.
All right, do we have any more catching up to do, or are we ready for some random topics?
Do you have some random topics?
I wrote them out. You didn't read them?
Oh, I've got them right here. No, I gotcha.
Ah.
Hey,
What?
I've got a better thing. Than,
No, I
than
thought
a
about
random
these.
topic.
I thought about these. And I
Oh,
thought,
you'll
hey,
love this. Emily, you'll love this, though. No. You will love this.
Okay.
This is an event that happened this week, okay? And it was pretty early on in the week, very early on, and I'm wondering if Luke's going to remember it. But I don't exactly remember why we met up at McDonald's, but we met up at McDonald's. And I pulled into the parking lot, and I saw Luke bounding toward the building. Bounding.
Oh, yeah.
long strides. And he's holding a water bottle. And, like, I go up to him and I'm like seeing what he's doing, and he's pouring water into this what is it? The cigarette tower thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out that Luke's saving the building from burning down.
I remember that.
I think I've got video of it somewhere, because I think I recorded you for a Snapchat, because you're just doing this awkward run with your arms like out, because you're like, in your mind it must have just been like, oh my god, it's on fire.
Like I really need to put out this fire.
We had a kitchen fire the other day, and both of us just like stared at it for a little bit because we didn't really sure what to do. We just both like stood still. We didn't say anything.
We were both standing right in front of the oven, and then like boiling some noodles, and then the burner catches on fire, and we just stare.
Yeah, in silence.
We're like, So eventually I picked up the pot and just blew it out real quick.
Oh, that's good. You got taken care of. Speaking of kitchen fires, a while back, Haley bought some frozen blueberries.
Now, how does this have is a fire story?
And so she put the bag in the microwave to warm it up. And the bag was made of metal on the inside. But you can't
What?
So after like, I don't know, 3 seconds in the microwave, Haley's like, Luke, the blueberries are on fire. And I go over because I'm expecting some smoke or something, but there's like an actual flame just like bursting out of the thing, and I opened it up. I don't remember how I put it out.
Oh, you think really hard. Like, what do you do in that situation?
It's all a blur. I just like, I either poured some water on it or something, but...
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, you put blueberries into the microwave that were frozen in what we thought was a plastic bag, and all of a sudden, like, immediately they're on fire.
Like, what?
Did she stop the microwave?
She just, like... She said it, and then I, like, dashed over there, so there wasn't...
Oh,
there wasn't really time. I was close.
Luke, the blueberries are on fire. That's what gets Luke to dash.
Yeah. Something's on fire, and I do my dumb bounding run,
and I
get there.
I didn't describe it as a dash, though. I more so saw bounding.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to, like, run to the fire, because I felt like that was weird. I just wanted to get there fast. And so I did like the dumbest looking way, apparently. Of,
Okay.
like,
Is
I'll
that
get
Haley's
there
account of the
quickly.
situation?
Oh no, I'm talking about your account.
Gotcha.
Our apartment's so small, I don't think I could take more than 4 steps in any direction.
Your one step was your bound to the microwave.
Right.
Well, now I'm curious, because every time I bring up a situation, you seem to have an equally bad
Better
situation.
example.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I bring up the story of Emily and I getting stuck on an elevator...
No, we have nothing like that. You should tell that.
I wanted Emily to jump in on that one.
Well, I had the same experience you do, so...
I know, I thought you were going to go, oh!
I did in my mind.
Great. Well, one day, Emily and I decided to get some... Did we decide to go get Taco Bell that day?
Yeah, we did.
That was just straight up what it was. We had a gift card.
Yeah.
We had a $10 Taco Bell gift card.
And
And we were...
It's a whole meal.
What? Yes.
Taco Bell.
Did you
for like
finish
2
that
people.
sentence or not? That's like a whole... And I waited. So yeah, we were very excited. Taco Bell is like 4 blocks away in Milwaukee. So we hopped on the elevator, it's going fine, and then it stopped. And it doesn't seem like a very dramatic situation when you're not in it, but Emily almost started crying, I think.
I was scared.
Yeah. Because I made the mistake of talking about what would happen if the elevator fell?
Yeah, you said, hey, what if the elevator falls? We're on the 7th floor. What's going to happen?
I said something like, hey, did you know that if it fell from like 100 stories and we jumped at the end, it would do nothing to help?
Yeah, that's what
And then Emily got really bummed out, and so I was just, and I had low battery on my phone, so I just was stuck in an elevator with a somber girl.
You didn't comfort me at all. I was just so scared, and you're like, hey, guess what happens?
Actually, I did comfort you, because I used my low remaining battery to Google all of the safety equipment that elevators have in them, even in fail-safe, like all the fail-safes that elevators have, and they've got plenty of them.
I was under the impression elevators don't really fall unless a lot of things break.
But this elevator was made in like the 1800s. It's old.
No, yeah, but like that safety mechanism is why they felt so safe using them.
Well, anyway, we were stuck for like at least an hour, and we had to get rescued by police and firefighters.
Yeah, not that bad. Just an hour. We didn't have to resort to drinking that much urine.
Did you establish a pee corner?
That's exactly what Rokov said.
That's The Office.
Oh,
yeah, it is. Is that Dwight?
Yeah, he's like, time to establish a pee corner or something, and he starts peeing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, it took them forever. We were hearing voices of people like looking for us. Turns out we like sunk 3 floors while we were in it.
Oh.
So that's a little unsettling. But
that's probably a safety mechanism too. You'll go to the bottom floor if you don't have power long enough.
Well, it was a whole hour and we only went down 3 floors, so. But they got it. They got the doors open. We walked out. I wanted to talk to them, but they were just like, all right, they're out. Let's go.
I was afraid. I was afraid we were going to get chopped in half if.
Yeah, Emily was very concerned. Like a Final Destination scene was about to happen, which actually happens in Final Destination.
Of course it did. Those movies suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's the story. And then we went and had Airhead slushies. It was great.
Did you finally eat at Taco Bell?
Yeah.
We did.
Oh, good.
We did. So, happy ending.
Taco Bell's probably like 24/7 there, isn't it?
Probably.
It all depends on the store.
We're open till like 10 p.m.
Something like that.
I'm just jealous.
What's your culture like?
8 p.m., 9 p.m.
8 p.m. for like lots of restaurants?
Like almost any place that isn't a sit-down teppanyaki thing, where they like Korean barbecue style, where you have a stovetop in front of you and you cook the stuff yourself. It's pretty much all closed at 8 or 9 around here out in the middle of nowhere.
Now, just thinking about that system, would you say that has a positive outcome on like family culture?
I would say it's a result of Japanese drinking laws in a large part. There's no drinking and driving at all here. Like one drop and you can't drive.
Gotcha. Okay, I was like, neither can we.
Right, but I looked up a alcohol test thing where like you can see how many drinks at your age, weight, and height you could drink before you wouldn't be allowed to drive in the US. I can drink a lot of alcohol before it's illegal for me to drive. Like more than I would ever consider driving at to legally drive. In Japan, I'm still big enough. I think I could drink 3 beers before I hit their very low limit. But for the most part, everyone agrees that you shouldn't drink and drive at all.
So, okay. So it's not law.
Right.
That's good.
The law is very low, so you can still have foods that have alcohol in them and stuff and not get arrested. But what that ends up meaning is that if you're going to stay out late, you need to get a taxi or something, and there's no point in getting one drink somewhere. So bars will stay open late, and some places where you like might meet up with friends and hang out will stay open late, but other places just won't. And there's no fewer people drive that places just close early here.
Now, it seems like you made like a lot of connections to like come to these conclusions. Do you just think about this, or is there some other source that you have that you figured this out?
I mean, we talk about it a lot.
That's cool.
All the differences between
That's
cultures.
Cool. It's going to make you notice things about America, too.
Right. I already have.
Yeah.
there are a lot of things about America that you just take for granted, and you're like, oh, yeah, that is different. Although, as an American, a lot of times I'm like, oh, yeah, that is better in America.
Yeah, it would take me a long time to think that, like, a thing in a different culture is actually better, because like there's just the getting used to things.
Yeah, having been here a year, I'm a lot more accepting of a lot of things than I was when we got here, like trash.
There's a bunch of trash everywhere?
No, there's just, well, I want to take my trash out, but I can't because it's not Tuesday or Friday.
That trash situation.
We had batteries piling up until I finally got them out on a non-burnable trash day because I kept forgetting, because it's
That's
only
amazing.
Once every month that you can take out your batteries.
I was kind of excited that you were going to say that there's like a bunch of like pollution or litter, because that's what Milwaukee's like in my experience.
Yeah.
2 separate occasions on one drive, I saw like a bottle fly out of one window, and then a door open and just trash shoved out from the car floor, and then the door shut. This was like at a stoplight.
Yeah, yeah.
Gross. Okay, Emily, let's go to your random topics.
Okay. Would you consider a hot dog to be a sandwich?
So I've got something for this. Interestingly enough, I think I saw a Facebook link that said the Hot Dog Council has said that hot dogs aren't sandwiches.
Oh. All right, that settles
Probably
it.
trust the Hot Dog Council.
That sounds like a conspiracy, though, because wouldn't the Hot Dog Council want their thing to be more unique than just another sandwich?
But it's not a sandwich.
But it's not. Now why? What's a sandwich?
Sandwich is when you take something and put it between 2 slices of bread.
Alright, but would you not consider a bun to surround the object, which is the hot dog?
Sure, but if you're doing a hot dog right, you don't disconnect the bottom side.
And I don't even think you do need to for you to consider it being surrounded by the hot dog bun.
Yes, I think if you cut the bottom part of the hot dog bun in half, and then you could make a hot dog sandwich with the bun. But I don't think a hot dog with a bun is a sandwich.
So it's all about the cut for you.
Yeah, because, think about it. You got your egg salad sandwiches, your ham sandwiches, hamburgers you could consider a sandwich, and when you look at all those, no matter where you start from, you can start from one side or the other side, and it's the same thing.
Oh, it's about symmetry.
There's 2 pieces of bread and stuff in between them. But with a hot dog, it's 1 piece of bread with stuff inside.
I get you. Now, I'm really thinking that there's something that I'm not thinking of. Because, for the same reason, you wouldn't call a taco a sandwich then.
Right.
Yeah, a taco's a hot dog.
That is so brilliant. Have you ever thought about how similar tacos and hot dogs are?
Just a different,
taco's a hot dog.
You take ground up meat and you put it between a folded starch.
Yeah. That's amazing.
All right. What's something that you just realized or learned, something that you're embarrassed about that you should have known already, but you didn't know? If you don't have one, I do, and it's hilarious. And it's about Brian.
Okay, well then that's mine too. Crap.
All right,
let's hear your version of the story.
Okay. So you know how we were playing Mario Sunshine?
Yes.
Okay, so in the game, you have to feed Yoshi fruits. Mm-hmm. So we were looking around for fruits for Yoshi, and we were like, okay, what does he need? And it was this yellow fruit, and I was like, oh, okay, we need to go get that. And Brian was like, yeah, we need to go find a papaya. And he said it seriously.
Reaction?
A papaya. A papaya.
Okay.
Papaya. It's a papaya.
Brian doesn't know how to say the word papaya.
He called it a papaya.
All right. Let me defend myself. I think that multiple retellings of this story have morphed Emily's memory.
No, I remember this.
Because it was not like I was saying like hello to my dad named Papa you know. I was like Papaya.
Still, papaya.
Oh, so you just said papaya instead of papaya.
Papaya. Now, I wanted to make that point. But
Okay,
here's my
fine.
second point.
Papaya.
My first experience with the papaya
Good job.
was actually while training farming in RuneScape. So my first experience with this fruit was in its written form.
Right.
Papaya.
And who knows how to pronounce a word that's just papaya?
So that's the first way I heard it. And since then, I've definitely heard papaya. And I don't know why it suddenly came out again as papaya. But it did, and Emily loved it.
I can't even believe it. I'm still in shock.
So, yeah, I was farming some fruit trees. Needed that experience.
Papayas.
That's the result. That's all I get from it.
Okay. I had a hard time wording this one, but
Yeah.
did anybody else have weird
No.
thoughts
I
as
want
a
you
kid?
to read this verbatim.
No.
I'll read it then. This is Emily's topic.
Couldn't think of how to word it.
What are your weird thoughts you used to have as a kid? Like, did anyone else come up with scenarios for if someone was going to rob your house? What would you do? Or what person would you save? Or did you secretly think you were adopted or anything?
That's a reasonable way to explain it.
Yes, no, I get it.
Well, did you?
When I was a kid, every time I walked through the parking lots to and from the grocery store, I would prepare myself if anyone tried to kidnap me.
Ooh,
Oh
I
my
still
gosh.
do that.
Yeah, I'd look around and make
God.
sure no one was around, and I think I can scream real loud if anyone tries to come at me.
Nice.
Why did you have to have those thoughts?
I was a dumb kid.
Okay, well at least you weren't scarred for life about something like that.
No, it wasn't it was more like I could do it. I could take on a kidnapper and bite his fingers. I don't know.
I used to pretend I was deaf and blind when I went to the grocery store.
Emily, just scoop the fries, please. What was the actual thing you wanted to say?
When I went to the grocery store.
Why?
Because I had to go along with my parents and it was always so boring. So I made it more interesting for the people around me and for me.
By walking with your eyes closed.
Yeah. I kind of would bump into things or wouldn't hear things when people asked what was going on. And I would ignore my parents and just I don't know, go without senses for a little while.
Story yet. That's cool.
Yeah.
I always had the thought of I entertained the thought in kindergarten of why are my parents raising me? And it was just kind of this broad plan to kill me. And then
Yeah.
and then I eventually settled on that they weren't going to kill me because, and here was my reasoning, it was they're just going through so much trouble to just kill me. They would have done it already. So I figured that they wouldn't.
Well, there you go.
I was convinced
prevails.
my parents were raising me up so that they could brew me up in a pot and eat me.
Is this
That's
a
like an
normal
actual-
child thing?
That's actually a witch scenario right there.
Yeah, I thought they
Brew
were
you up in a
aliens.
cauldron.
But I thought they were gonna brew me up in a cauldron. pot, like a big
See,
pot?
I don't know, because Luke, apparently you didn't.
I never suspected my parents were trying to kill me, no. I don't know how that makes me the weird one.
Getting suspicious, like... Yeah, no, I don't know. I've got that memory, though, kindergarten age.
Well, I was
Kinda
maybe
weird.
in 3rd grade, but...
It's like...
I don't know
it's
where
like,
the cutoff is where that starts being super weird. Like,
you'd think
yeah,
you
that
could
was
have
in
a
9th
conversation. Yeah, I was a senior in high school, and I still had this feeling. All this has been for a reason. That's cool that you were able to come up with that scenario of walking from the grocery store, though. Just the other day, when my car wasn't working because the battery was dead, I had to walk to the library, and it was like a 1.5 mile walk. And I kind of still do the thing of where, like, I'll occasionally glance behind my back
Oh,
to check
yeah.
if I'm being followed.
Well, it's
Is
not
that-
safe
that's
around
normal?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dangerous area.
All right. So I don't know. You had one phrase that you mentioned of like that. You said that you were a dumb kid because you did that.
Well, you
And
know,
I was thinking,
like,
well, I kind of do that.
I mean, like, walking around the grocery store parking lot where there are tons of people, and it's like, no one's going to try and kidnap some random kid in a parking lot in Minnesota.
Well,
If I had grown
I've
up
got a,
in St. Paul or Minneapolis,
yeah.
some of those,
Hey,
like the Walmart
you know-
parking lot in St. Paul,
Right.
There's some weird stuff that happens in the grocery store parking lot, though. For example, I worked there, and we all got this these stories of this one lady that we had to watch out for because if you see her walking around and pacing in the parking lot, it's because she's waiting for someone to open their door so that she can jump into the vehicle, put the seatbelt on, and ask to be driven somewhere.
what the heck?
Can you imagine being in that situation?
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, these people, they're from Minnesota. They'll drive her. You know?
Yeah,
They did it.
maybe that's why she does it. Free
Yeah,
rides.
She got away with a bunch of stuff. So, that's crazy. I hate
My
that.
sister worked in the deli at that Cashwise.
Mm-hmm.
She had a creep come in, like some sort of weird old pervert, I guess. And he would do art that was
Okay.
like creepy. And my sister was so interested in it because
I'm sure she was.
She I guess in the art world, they always find it some people find it interesting for people who do art for years and develop their own style without ever having been taught art. Because they develop this kind of like untrained art that does some weird things that you normally don't do as a trained artist because you've learned like right and wrong, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess she got to see, he would bring some of his artwork in and she would look at it, and he was like this weird guy who would hit on her coworkers.
Wow.
Yikes.
Weird.
Well, that's fun.
In a way. I think he might have been arrested at some point.
Oh, no. Jumping back to that topic. No, I constantly would think about, because, like, I'm a kid that's never been in a fight before, like a real fight, but I also think, I could do it. I could defend myself, you know?
I'm always carrying something sharp or heavy in my hand when I walk in Milwaukee.
Emily legitimately thinks that she could take on, like, 2 muggers.
I don't think I could. I just know how I will attack them.
Oh, okay. Okay. You always sounded very confident when you described it.
Well, I have some sharp, heavy things that I can hit them with and run.
Sounds like you live in a lovely area.
So we do actually, this is mostly fables from the time Emily had to go to class often in Milwaukee and also when we lived there for a month.
Fables. I get emails like daily, like, there was a robbery / shooting / stabbing right next to campus, blah, 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 if you have information. I get emails like every day, like, oh yeah, this person was hurt. Be careful.
I used the word fable for no reason other than that it intrigued me at that very moment.
All right.
These
Doesn't
are
a fable
happenings.
need
Yeah, be not
talking
true.
animals?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought fables were
Fable
just
needed talking
fiction.
animals.
I don't
I
know.
don't
Haley's saying no. I'm pretty sure a fable needs a talking animal.
I don't think it does. I think that's just all of Aesop's fables use
Define
talking animals.
fable, Google. A short story, typically with animals as characters, conveying a moral.
Typically.
Typically. Okay, so a fable typically has talking animals.
I'm surprised that it actually had typical, but that's probably only because of the fame of Aesop's fables.
All right, what's your most useless talent?
I think about my double jointedness, but then I just think, oh, that's just super useful, actually.
How is it useful?
Because if I get into that fictional fight that I haven't been in yet, and they try to bend my fingers back, it won't hurt as bad.
All right.
No, I think that really does classify as useless.
That actually is a wrestling technique, to grab the guy's hand and bend their fingers back.
Right, like actual wrestling, or like the on TV wrestling where they pretend.
Oh,
to fight.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think actual wrestling.
Huh.
Emily, did you come up with something for a useless talent?
Well, actually, I was trying to think if I had any talents, really, and I'm pretty much don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
I think I'm pretty good at most things, but
Okay.
I don't have a talent for anything. So, but I don't have a useless talent, that means. So I'm just pretty fine with everything.
Yeah, this is something I think I would have needed to think a lot on. Did you come up with something, Luke?
I don't know. I can instant aerial really well as Captain Falcon.
Nice.
Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube.
I can do that too.
Although, to be fair, for a long time I thought that was a useless talent, but it actually has a lot of uses, so
No,
maybe
super
that isn't
awesome.
useless.
Up air is chained so well. Emily, were you about to say something?
I forgot.
Oh no.
Okay, what will we be nostalgic for when we're old, like 60? Like, we'll be like, oh, remember when we were living back, and what will everyone be nostalgic for? Like,
I'm
remember the
wondering if-
2017s, 20-teens?
The 2017s? Like the multiple?
I meant to say the 20-teens.
Okay. I'm wondering if I'll be nostalgic for a few things that I haven't done yet. You know?
That's very possible.
Like what?
Like some pursuing some new hobbies.
Like,
Like slacklining, I don't know.
okay. All right. You only got 3 years to do it. Better start.
Why do I only have 3 years to do that?
Because the 20-teens are ending.
Oh, wait, you're asking what will we be nostalgic for from the 20-teens?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like what's good now that we won't have later.
gotcha. I thought, okay, the way you've got this phrased is what will we be nostalgic for in like 40 years?
Okay, well, just answer the prompt.
What's good now? I might miss school.
I already miss school.
There you go.
Really?
See?
I hate school. I just want to get out of it.
There you go.
Here's the thing about school, though. When you're in school, you're part of this system where it's like, I just have to do the things that they want me to do. But when you get out of school, it's like, now get a job. What job? I don't know. Any job. You can do whatever you want. That don't necessarily want you, so you have to make them want you. But that's also free to you, too. So good luck. And you're like, can I go back to school? That was kind of nice when everyone was just like, you need an A, so do these things. And then you do the things, and then you get a grade.
Luke's craving structure in his chaotic life.
Ah.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I didn't think about this one either. Maybe some of the games we play or maybe things will be more like crazy politically, or like, there could be like World War III or something, and we'll be like, remember when we used to live without fear?
Oh my god.
Like something like that.
15 seconds of pondering the question, what will you be nostalgic for? Emily comes up with living in a time without fear.
I think we'll
wonderful.
all be nostalgic for living in a time without fear, if that's what happens.
Nah, guys. Having fear isn't so bad. You're just looking at the past with rose-tinted glasses.
I did the last outro.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Well,
Brian, you could do the outro.
Maybe it's me then.
Yeah.
But we need to say what happened in this podcast. I don't think we planned very much, and so this is the result that we got.
I think it's just fine. We had good stories, and
I mean, yeah. Regardless, it was fun to hang out.
yeah, catch up.
So, is this has been our conversation? We're good.
I guess
Okay.
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, faithful listeners, I know it's very interesting to listen to the internet celebrities' lives that we provide for you on WePodNow. This has been WePodNow 6. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Guys, this is bad.
Sometimes it's okay to have a really bad ending because no one will listen to the end anyway.
Oh,
No one will listen to the beginning.
we'll listen again sometime in like 10 years when we're feeling nostalgic for the teens.
This outro is specifically for 34-year-old Luke. How's it going, man? Hey, thanks for... I see that nostalgic streak in you. Nice. Talk to you later. Bye. There you go.